Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix Transgender Day of Visibility Celebration Showcase. My name is Quacksilver, and I am going to be hanging out with y'all for the second half of day one of our TDOV showcase. Many thanks and congratulations to Helix and all of the runners who appeared earlier this afternoon on a phenomenal kickoff to the event. I'm here to segue with you all into a little mini block I am calling Trans People Have Always Speedrun here, because we're going into some classics. Coming up next, we've got Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. We're gonna get some Tomb Raider 2, a series of games from the far-off dimension known as the 1990s. And then we'll kick it over to some remakes of classic games with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Resident Evil 2 Remake, before concluding our evening with some Hades 2. Now, Helix is taking a well-deserved break because, in addition to hosting and helping design this event, Helix is also, alongside a whole lot of GDQ names and faces, going to be attending PAX East, March 26th through 29th. GDQ is going to be there. I hope you'll check it out. You can visit east.paxsite.com to find out more about the show, or use !PAX in the Twitch chat for some more information about that. But without further ado, I think it is time we go to a classic of speedrunning, featuring a character beloved by the trans community for being every gender at once. I think we can all agree on this. Here to speedrun The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past Master Sword, please welcome to the stage Demasu.
Hello, thank you, Quack. This is just so great to show off this speedrun. It's very beginner friendly and just a fun time overall. But before we get going, would my commentators like to introduce themselves?
Hi, I'm Kit Rose. I'll be commentating Demasu's run.
And I'm Larch, aka Orkibash. And yeah, I am long-time viewer, first-time commentator.
Ooh, awesome
to be here.
Well, without further ado, let's get going. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
So, thank you. And here at the start, we've got a bit of text that we've got to mash through. It's basically Princess Zelda calling out for help, saying, hey, Aghanim has been doing some weird stuff with all of the maidens across the realm, and he's locked me in the prison. And she needs help, so our uncle is going to go help.
I'm glad that Link's house has good cell reception.
Yes, and before we make it out here, there is a flashing lights warning as soon as I exit, and it will go for another minute or two. I will let you know when it is done. So we have some lightning out here in the rain. Go on.
Right at the gate, you notice Demasu skipping that chest there. It has the lantern in it, which is an important item if you don't know where you're going in the dark areas, and Demasu has some of those areas memorized, but it really is just because there is a faster lantern to pick up later, and the game really wants you to have it, so it puts it in a bunch of different chests.
Yep. I think there's 3. There's only 2 that I remember for sure, but here we meet our uncle, who has unfortunately failed, and so he passes on the quest to us. Yeah, he's legitimately just resting, though. During the credits, we would see him again, but, well, this run doesn't get to the credits.
So he'll never be relevant again.
Nope. And now there are no more flashing lights for this run. So it is completely safe.
Players here pick the left side, and guards either look left and right or straight for their vision, so it's very easy to practice going around these guards and dodging them. You can do this at home too.
And only the thicker guards, the ones with more armor, presumably, are ones that will chase you down. The smaller ones will just kind of walk around aimlessly, but these, they'll chase you. And we're going to get seen by every guard here.
We're fast because we're speedrunners.
Yes. And in this room, if you go up here and just go to this line and go left, these 2 guards won't see you. It's very helpful for getting through here. So we're going to pick up the boomerang and make our way down to the basement to pick up Princess Zelda.
Are we going to be showing the warping through the block trick?
No, we don't get a chance to show that off in this one. In a randomizer, you get to see it though.
Okay, all right. For that
or
randomizer.
Potentially in a full run, because the Master Sword percent, we just do the first 3 dungeons. It's kind of a taste of the whole game. So instead of hitting the ball and chain guard here with 8 sword slashes, we just throw 2 pots. And there is the second place to pick up the lantern, which we need to see in dark places. And we pick up Princess Zelda to rescue her. And she tells us, hey, there's this secret passage into the sewers that we can use, and that will lead to the sanctuary where she'll be safe. But to do that, we've got to get to the throne room. So we get to backtrack a little ways. Fortunately, most of the enemies stay gone, so we don't have to worry about much getting in our way.
That's good, because escort quests, right?
Mm-hmm.
Famously everyone's beloved.
Yep. But also, fortunately, we get to take this wonderful side path on this precarious ledge.
I mean, Link
and the
maiden.
Mm-hmm. And hey, that was rude. So I mainly play the randomizer.
So yeah, the life route in this run is pretty slim. We never end up getting all that many hearts. So like every point of damage is pretty rude.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Is.
Yeah. I mainly play the randomizer when that room where I got hit. If you do that path that I do in the randomizer, that guard never sees me. But in all my times practicing this category, that guard has seen me every time except one. And I'm not sure why.
Version maybe? Like, because this is Japanese 1.0.
The randomizer is based off the same, but there could be something that got changed. So now we're in the sewers, and we have to watch out for rats and bats, or keeks, as the game calls them. Fortunately, they're decently easy to avoid. And here we have ropes who do a full half-heart of damage, whereas the rats only do a quarter heart. So if we get hit by a rat, it doesn't hurt as much. We go right here to get a key so we can exit this room and explore more of the sewers.
And you notice if a rat does hit her, that like the health only goes down by half a heart occasionally, and that's because the game doesn't render quarter hearts.
Correct. We ignore some stranded rats. Unfortunately, we go left because this rat has a key for us.
It's holding a tiny key in its tiny little hands.
Yeah.
Thank you, rat.
And we politely asked for the key and it gave it to us and nothing else happened.
Yes.
Chattel
Correct.
vouch.
Yeah. So here, let's see if I get hit by that rat. No. Usually, okay, as I don't pay attention and walk into another one. But usually I get one of those rats loves to just walk into me. And in here, Princess Zelda says, hey, pull that lever over there. But she never tells us which one. Fortunately, it's the same one every time. If we pulled the one on the left, a bunch of snakes would drop on our head. So here we get a lot more text of Zelda and the priest telling us what's going on, saying Zelda will be safe here, and telling us to go and get these, the 3 pendants that we need. And that'll help things. So we're going to do that.
Shout out to all the rat emojis in chat that I'm seeing.
Oh, yes.
Post more rats, please.
Give me more. Love them. So here, let's not go to the sanctuary. Let's go to Link's house, because that's closer. So now we're going to go to Eastern Palace.
Yeah, we save in a lot during this run.
Yes.
Because that's faster than walking.
A lot. Excuse me, guards. So the guards.
Very optimized, like pseudo stealth movement here from Demasu.
Yeah, the guards in their big helmets have a little bit of visibility problem. And would either of you like to explain pumping, since we're going to be doing that a lot?
So the stairs.
Yes.
The stairs.
Yeah, so when you go up the stairs in A Link to the Past, if you mash back and forth left and right, you actually go faster than just straight holding up the up direction. And that's also tech you can try if you have like Switch Online or any other version of the game.
Yep.
Yeah, it basically skips a 0 movement frame. And like it's just 1 frame, but it adds up over the course of the run. A lot of this, Master Sword percent is like not glitches. It's a lot of like really micro optimizations like that.
Yeah. So even if you're brand new to the game, you can just pick it up and do it. You don't have to do any of these fancy optimizations. Although stair pump is probably the easiest one to learn because you just literally hit left and right as you're going up as fast as you can, and it works. Let's see if I get this one. I'm really bad at aiming here. Oh, 1 and 2. And instead of fighting 4 or more, you just do that. We don't need that chest because that is a compass. And we already know where all the chests are.
The map and compass is slow.
Yep. The map is just slow for all beginners too, because it takes place on this right side here, where you'd end up on the level above where I am now. And there's just 2 more rooms that loops you out there, and you just kind of go nowhere to get a map. It's not needed much. But here we want to avoid the anti-fairies. This is also, these 2 rooms are 2 of 3 rooms I can do in the dark. Hey, excuse you, skeleton. But we get a key there.
Being very rude today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marathon luck.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not doing... I'm specifically skipping 1 trick in this next room so I do not die at a very not good time.
Chat has noticed that the maps in A Link Between Worlds and A Link to the Past are similar, and that's because those are direct sequels.
Yeah, it actually really messed me up playing A Link Between Worlds for the first time. Because it's so similar to this game, but so different that it took a while to figure out where they had shuffled things.
And also Echoes of Wisdom, the map, the overland map for Link to the Past is contained in that map.
Ooh.
Like it just kind of expands out the borders of what like Greater Hyrule is.
Neat. So here we finally got a bow, which will help us in defeating the boss of this dungeon, Armos. And here we have another dark room that, excuse me, we got to get rid of that enemy because they hold a key for us. And we just kind of avoid the others. And here, we go over here, we pick up the pot, go left, pick up the pot, go down, pick up the pot, hit the switch, and those anti-fairies never hit us. And in this room,
Chat is...
you can just do that.
3214 for pointing out that in Japanese, Link Between Worlds was literally like titled as a sequel. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, today I learned.
Oh yeah, thanks. Teaching us.
So these red ones take 2. Right, that's a heart. Now let's see if
Luck.
I can hit
That quick kill is pretty tricky.
buttons right. Nope.
I've seen her get it a couple times, but Luck was not with us.
I can hit buttons right. Nope.
That's
all right.
So yeah, the strategy here is basically
Sure, I have enough
we want to
arrows,
take down
now we're on
Knights
to our
kind
first
of
boss.
as close together as we can, because once we're down to 1 Armos Knight, it's gonna enrage and get like a lot faster and do a lot more damage. We do not have a lot of hearts, so what Demasu is gonna try to do is not be in that state for a long time.
Yeah, it takes 16 hits or 8 spin attacks normally to defeat this boss.
No.
Kit, did you want to explain that
Yeah, so there is a quick
potential
heal you can
softlock?
do, but for some reason, I'm just notoriously bad at it.
Soft lock here. If you
And I haven't figured out.
positioned to pick up the pendant before the text is drawn on the screen, the game will crash.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yep.
And I have to ask, has that happened to you before in a run, especially a marathon or PB pace run?
No, and I'm very glad. I would have been so confused. So here we're talking to Saharasala, who lost his heirloom, the green pendant. And in return for us getting it and doing our hero stuff, he gives us the Pegasus boots, which allows us to dash. So now we're going back to Link's house so we can go to the library and check out a book. Because we need to be able to read. As all heroes.
And famously, like, you can learn to read by just looking at one book.
Yeah.
One book will teach you everything you need to know. Not really. No, don't do that.
Literacy matters.
Yes.
Trans rights matter.
Yes. I'm gonna try and remember to dash everywhere, but since I'm still used to randomizers a lot, and we get the Pegasus boots randomly, I may forget.
Bonk.
And now we can read, which brings us to our second dungeon. Is we need to be able to read to get into it. And that is the Desert Palace, which is down in the southwest corner of the map.
Yes, Metabot, it is a really good book, like real page turner.
Oh,
It is amazing what you can learn at your local library.
yes.
True.
Libraries matter. Shout out to libraries.
And library cards are free. You can just go and get one. That's gonna hurt. Avoid the jazz hands, guys, and not bonk on that wall somehow. All right. And now here's where we needed the book. It tells us basically, hey, if you wish really hard in your heart, things will happen for you and new pathways will open.
I
And
do
then that
believe in fairies.
Yeah. Now we're in bonk. The desert dungeon. Desert temple. Okay. So now we gotta get a key, a small key so we can get the big key. And there's another trick. If you line yourself up just right, you get to skim the lamp and bonk against the wall and still knock the key off.
Good job.
And that helps you avoid the beamos a little bit and still be fast.
Yeah, I literally never knew that until watching Demasu practice for this, that, like, you could bonk anywhere on that wall or bonk close on the wall close to the key.
You do have to be in a specific spot so you brush up against the lamp.
Oh,
but-
I see.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, the RNG on those cannons can be real mean. Unlike their flavor.
yes. Let's see if I can at least make it out of this half of the dungeon before I die. That would be nice.
I
Chat
believe.
says that that believing in fairies is vital for speedrunning. Agree.
Yes.
It's very kind. Do you think Nintendo predicted the modern speedrunner by gating dungeon access behind literacy in this game?
Possibly. Now we've picked up the power
It's
glove.
so bad.
So bad.
Someone has to say it.
And, speaking of video games,
Excuse me, enemies.
some libraries have video games, though maybe not retro
Yeah.
ones like this.
I'd be really surprised if they had, like, cartridges that went for hundreds of dollars a pop, but, like, you never know.
You never know. And now we've got the back half of this dungeon, where if you don't stop moving, you can avoid that.
Yeah, the movement in like this whole half of the dungeon like is just astonishing. So like, watch close and like let's give Demasu like some reading room because you basically don't stop.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
I'm fine.
Well, if we have...
I do this one.
No, sorry. Speedrunners can't count, but we know how to read.
Chat, as always, funnier than I could ever be. It's called speedrunning, not read running.
Not read writing.
So true.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's the joke of the. That's the. Joke
Oh, amazing.
There.
Except this is the one speedrun that demonstrably requires reading. What are we doing here, gamers?
Are we gonna start measuring in words per minute?
Hey, it's not like this is.
Isn't that what they do when we pick which
True.
language is faster?
That's true.
Okay. And now we've got the boss Lanmola, which I'm really bad at timing arrows, so this could take a few minutes.
Yeah, the arrows like go like a bit, either a bit slower or a bit faster than you expect. Sometimes you'll see a Demasu like try to hit with the slash instead. But basically, like the Armos Knights, this one has a bit of an enrage. It's not quite as severe. You'll notice that when the Lanmolas jump out of the ground, they have those 4 projectiles. When we're done to one, those will turn into 8 projectiles, and that can be a little bit more hardy, but they only do half a heart each, so it's not as big of a deal to... And we can't also, like, really time which one we kill last because the movement is so unpredictable, so...
Right. And
it's not the end of the world if one gets left alive, but that is kind of what we're going for.
The most useful item against this boss is the ice rod, but of course we don't have that.
Yes, in a randomizer, like that's what you hope to see.
Not in this run.
Absolutely.
Not today.
So y'all have mentioned the randomizer a couple of times. Demasu, did you start with the randomizer?
Yeah.
Or did you start with the speed run? Like which was the first and which followed?
I started with the randomizer. Because I played this when I was a kid, and it was just really fun. But the randomizer really hooked me in, especially after seeing, what was it, AGDQ 2020, when they had the randomizer with crowd control on AGDQ. It was amazing. And so I'm like, I want to do that. So I started with the randomizer. Yeah, and that just kind of unlocked everything. Then I went, wow, this isn't as challenging as a game for a beginner. So let's see what else I can do. And then from there, I tried the 80% route, which 80% major glitches, which only takes about 5 minutes. I was able to do that on my Wii U Virtual Console. Where are we going? We're going to Tower of Hera now. And then from there, just kind of snowballed into what's a nice, easy category. And this one is.
I love that.
I was just going to give a shout out to the FF Discord, because that's how I got involved with GDQ stuff. Like, I've been watching GDQ for years, and then a mutual friend invited me to check out the FF Discord. And like, if you're not part of the FF Discord and you're watching this, you should.
Hey, Fatal's mentioned. It's a space if you are a woman or femme in any way that is meaningful to you. Obviously, highest of vouches for the Frame Fatales. They've additionally changed my life, but yeah.
This whole community is just amazing all around. Woo! Don't go into the hole. So now we're rescuing an old man who lives up here on Death Mountain, but has lost his lantern. And I have no idea what he's telling us there, unfortunately. I, as a speedrunner, cannot read Japanese.
I was about to say, reading the story.
What? We got to avoid the angry broccoli. The old man gives us the magic lamp, magic mirror, which allows us to escape from the dark world, or, excuse you, Dead Rock, or to warp back to the entrance in a dungeon, which can be really handy.
Sadly, it's the only time we see the Dark World, so, like, in this run, because we stopped the Master Sword, so no super hype Dark World music.
No,
It also means that we don't need to pick up
but
the
we do.
bunny time!
We do get Link as a bunny.
It also means we don't need
But no
to
more
pick up
bunny.
the pearl in the Tower of Hera, so apologies for the lack of orb on this route.
Yep. No orb.
Wow, we're going retro with the GDQ references too.
Of course. So we gotta go down here. Avoid my mortal enemy. Don't. The mini Moldorms are specifically my mortal enemy in this game.
They just
I
want to
don't know.
give you hugs.
I don't want their hugs. They are spiky and painful.
So is your cat's.
Yeah, but they don't pierce me every time I hug them. So this room is the hardest room in
have
the game.
different cats.
We have to just work so hard at dodging all of these evil tiles.
This is basically a Waldo. Let me try that again. This is basically a Waldo scroller.
Yeah, there's actually a couple places you can stand in this room, and if you just hold out your sword, you will not get hit. But this next room,
Hardest room in the game.
they gave me an opening.
Excellent.
Okay. Those skeletons, they're really mean. See, if you do that, they throw a part of them at you. Uh-oh. Okay, we're good. We're good on Moldorms for now. There are more in this dungeon. We'll see if they try to home in on me later. No. I knew that was going to get me. All right. It's okay, there are hearts right before the boss. In this room, we just have to get rid of the beetles.
Oh,
Then I just wait here. There we go. And now it's just a game of avoiding the beetles. But the beetles are a little bit slippery, and they like to drift. See, as long as you just walk consistently, they tend to avoid you, which is really nice. Now we get to skip the big chest of this game where the Moon Pearl lies. 2 more fire-breathing creatures.
I agree, chat. Banui Link best thing.
Yes, Banui Link.
Let's pick up a couple hearts here as we're being chased. And now the boss of the dungeon. The last boss. Moldorm.
Honestly, everyone's favorite.
Hi, Moldorm.
So what Demasu is going to try to do here is hold out her sword as much as possible, and because Moldorm will push you if you get hit, except if it hits your sword first. If Moldorm pushes you, then and you fall off, that will fall you down a floor, or maybe 2 or 3 if you get pushed in that center hole. So, yeah, really spicy boss.
Yeah, and you need to get
And if you're
to complete.
If you're holding the sword out and you get hit in the sword and it knocks you into the ledge like it did over there, it's a lot easier to recover.
Right.
And now it's the last bit of the game. Time will be coming up decently soon. And so we got to get to the Lost Woods. Now that we have all the pendants, we can free the Master Sword. To do that, we save and quit, and instead of going to Link's house, we go to the Sanctuary again, which is
shoutouts to the
middle option.
fight there. That was awesome to see.
Thank you. Went way better than my
What
last
did you say
practice.
PB was, Demasu?
28 minutes. What's this one?
Also, can we point out on the Tita block that, like, the trans-colored sanctuary?
True.
Yeah.
Oh,
28.
Excuse me, guys.
If my,
I did
if
not
my
point that out
recollection of
until-
Link to the Past holds, this could be close. Dash
oh,
will.
okay.
Yeah, you got this.
You got this! So yeah, time coming up very soon as Demasu touches the Master Sword.
We avoid the mushroom there.
We avoid the fake-out Master Sword.
Time's coming up. And time.
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 All right, I'm gonna have to see with the stream delay here, but it like is down to the wire.
Oh.
It looks like a 27:55 on our end.
Congrats.
GG.
That's amazing.
Congrats!
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the Master Surface, and it's a wonderful beginner run because you only do 3 of the, let's say 13 dungeons, if you want to count ones where you don't get a pendant or a crystal. So it's a wonderful beginner. I say you can do it on literally any version. If you have Nintendo Switch Online or any of the virtual console releases, or even on console, you can just pick it up and go. I say give it a try. It's really fun.
And do y'all have any shout outs you'd like to give, or else where can people find you on the internet?
Yeah, commentators first.
I would like to first give a shout out to my girlfriends Larch and Demasu for having me on. I would like to thank my spouse for doing the commentating, and I would also like to give a shout out to 2 of my friends who were giving me tech help, which is Hyperfusion and Glitched Pixel.
Shout out to Demasu and Kit for being an awesome runner and for getting onto GDQ and inviting me along for the ride. And shout out to Kit for introducing us and opening this up and so many other worlds to me. You're both amazing girlfriends. Shout out to my partner for supporting me in commentating this and in all other things.
I'd like to thank my partners in commentating, Kid and Larch, and also my best friends for believing me and supporting me through all this. And just shout out to all the wonderful speedrunning communities that are out there and are just so wonderful and accepting. You all have been amazing.
Incredible. Well, chat, please make some noise one more time for Demasu and Link to the Past. We are going to take a short break, so hydrate and stretch, and when we come back, we will be continuing our exploration of that far-off realm of the 90s. When we come back, it's Tomb Raider 2. I'll see you there.